Welcome back to Motor Authority Philippines, where we take you deep into the world of defense technology, military upgrades, and the future of national security. Today, we're diving into one of the most talked about military developments in the Philippines, the integration and use of the GBU-12 Paveway II missile as of 2025. Whether you're a defense enthusiast, an aviation geek, or simply curious about how our armed forces are evolving, this is something you'll want to pay attention to. Now, let's start with the basics. The GBU-12 Paveway II is not a new missile. It's actually a laser-guided bomb developed by the United States back in the 1970s. But what's exciting here in 2025 is how the armed forces of the Philippines, particularly the Philippine Air Force, are adapting and deploying it in a modern context. As tensions continue to simmer in the South China Sea and the need for precise, responsive strike capabilities increases, the GBU-12 has become a key player in the nation's arsenal. At its core, the GBU-12 is a 500-pound bomb equipped with a laser guidance system. What makes it different from a traditional dumb bomb is that it's capable of being guided to its target with a high degree of accuracy. It uses semi-active laser guidance, which means it homes in on the reflection of a laser beam that is aimed at the target either by a ground-based designator, another aircraft, or even the launching aircraft itself. That makes it highly effective in precision strikes, minimizing collateral damage and maximizing effectiveness, especially in urban or contested environments. As of early 2025, the Philippines has been expanding its fleet of aircraft that can deploy the GBU-12. The FA-50PH fighter jets, acquired from South Korea in recent years, have undergone systems integration to be compatible with these bombs. The Department of National Defense confirmed earlier this year that successful live-fire exercises had taken place in Palawan and Zambales, and the results were described as exceeding operational expectations. According to a defense official who spoke during a press briefing, the GBU-12 has given the FA-50 a lethal edge, one that significantly elevates the country's air-to-ground strike capabilities. It's important to understand the strategic value of this. The Philippines is not looking to become a global military powerhouse, but in an increasingly volatile Indo-Pacific region, self-reliance in defense is essential. The GBU-12 helps us strike that balance. Instead of relying solely on external allies, we now have an in-country precision strike capability. That's a game-changer, particularly in light of China's continued assertiveness in disputed maritime territories. If you're following defense news closely, you'd know that having this kind of weapon in the arsenal means that our Air Force can strike targets like radar stations, supply depots, or even moving convoys with surgical accuracy. One of the often overlooked aspects of adopting a system like the GBU-12 is the training and doctrine behind it. As of mid-2025, aircrews and ground-based forward air controllers have undergone extensive joint training exercises in both Luzon and Mindanao. These exercises include everything from laser designation protocols, air-to-ground coordination, and real-time combat simulations. These aren't just war games, they're strategic rehearsals for real-world scenarios where precision matters more than ever. Another point to note is that the GBU-12 isn't limited to fixed targets. Thanks to its laser homing technology, it can also be used effectively against moving targets like boats or light vehicles. This makes it particularly relevant in the West Philippine Sea, where quick, small-scale confrontations are becoming more common. A patrol vessel violating ARIs can now be neutralized with pinpoint precision, reducing the risk of broader escalation while clearly asserting our territorial rights. Let's talk tech for a moment. The GBU-12 uses a Mark 82 bomb body, outfitted with a laser seeker and control fins. Once released, the weapon glides toward the illuminated target. It's not a standoff weapon like cruise missiles, but it doesn't need to be. For missions within 10 to 15 kilometers, especially in archipelagic environments like ours, it's perfectly suited. What's more, the cost per unit is significantly lower than more advanced guided munitions, making it ideal for sustained operations without blowing the defense budget. A report from the Armed Forces Modernization Office indicates that the Philippines aims to stockpile at least 300 GBU-12 units by the end of 2025. These will be distributed across key forward operating bases, including Bazan Air Base in Pampanga, Antonio Bautista Air Base in Palawan, and Magdan Benito Epun Air Base in Cebu. There's also talk of integrating the weapon with future aircraft, possibly the multi-role fighters expected under Horizon 3 of the AFP modernization program. There's also a diplomatic layer to this. The United States has been instrumental in assisting with the transfer of technology, including system integration and operational training. This strengthens our bilateral ties and reinforces the long-standing mutual defense treaty. But more importantly, it sends a clear signal that the Philippines is serious about developing credible defense capabilities and not just symbolic ones. Critics might argue that laser-guided bombs are old tech and that the country should be investing in drone warfare or long-range missiles. While that's a valid point, we have to consider the context. The GBU-12 represents a smart, cost-effective middle ground. It's a proven system, easy to maintain, and incredibly effective in the kinds of missions we're most likely to face here: counterinsurgency, maritime security, and territorial defense. Beyond the hardware, there's also the human element. Pilots flying the FA-50PH have been steadily increasing their mission hours and gaining real-world experience with guided munitions. As one pilot put it during a recent interview, the GBU-12 gives us options. We're not just flying patrols so we can actually defend the country now with precision. That's a powerful statement, and it reflects the growing professionalism and capability of our armed forces. Looking ahead, the future seems clear. The GBU-12 is just the beginning. With the world watching the Indo-Pacific more closely than ever, the Philippines is taking calculated, intelligent steps to ensure its sovereignty is protected. This isn't about provoking anyone. It's about sending a message: we are ready, we are capable, and we are willing to defend what's ours. So what does this mean for everyday Filipinos? It means that your Air Force is better prepared today than it was yesterday. It means that the taxes you pay are funding real capabilities, not just symbolic displays. And it means that if and when the time comes, the country will not be caught off guard. Thanks for joining us today here on Motor Authority Philippines. If you found this video informative, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Drop a comment below and let us know what defense tech you'd like us to cover next. Until then, stay informed, stay safe, and stay proud. This is Motor Authority Philippines, signing off.